Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach, along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. We got a big boxing show for y'all today. And if you know we talking boxing, we got Byron here. We got Hardcore Banks back on the squad, schooling us, teaching us the ins and outs of these things. Make sure y'all go on Spectator Sporting, subscribe to that page, hit that bell. Man, leave comments. We do love it. We appreciate it. Even when you say we're wrong, we appreciate it. TikTok, we appreciate all the love on TikTok. And if you're in your car, man, we appreciate the love on Spotify. Finally, after all the negotiations of this gonna happen, we finally get William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, 27 years old, from Newark, New Jersey, aka the Brick City. The WBC lightweight champion is 23-0 with 11 knockouts. Last fight won by a TKO in the 9th round as Josh Padley corner threw in the towel. Now he is ready to show off his dynamic boxing skills against William Zepeda, who's 29 years old, from Mexico. The Southpaw is the WBC interim world lightweight champion, 33-0, 27 knockouts. Last fight defeated Tevin Farmer in a majority decision victory, and now we get the matchup, and hopefully we see some fireworks. Byron, what's your thoughts going into this fight for Shakur Stevenson?
Happy as hell.
Yeah.
Happy that Shakur finally gets his hand on Golden Boy's #1 witness protection program member, William Zepeda. And Shakur Stevenson, this should definitely be a coming out.
Cold with the sand, so I ain't gonna lie.
This will definitely be a coming out party for Shakur Stevenson. This is one of those I just couldn't wait to manifest it. And Shakur at 5'8", 68-inch reach against Zepeda's 5'9", 69.5-inch reach. Like, all of you race fans and you clowns in the comment section that come here and harass me with your nonsense that you pass off as boxing knowledge, I don't understand how you can't believe in your heart after watching these two, just their last fight, and see that Shakur Stevenson is by far highly more talented, highly more capable in the ring at doing what he wants to do as far as his boxing and his prowess in the ring. This is a joke fight that Oscar De La Hoya has basically ran and kept this kid in this protection program like as a jewel for Gervonta Davis, kind of just something that he's held on for so long. And you see this with Oscar. You see it with Lion Garcia. He just has these fighters that the twinkle, the special twinkle in his eye that he keeps. But it's over now. Shakur Stevenson has a fight against Zepeda, and Zepeda is going to get exposed. I'm not even looking at this fight as a difficult fight for Shakur, because I don't think it will be.
Damn. Obviously.
And that's exactly how I feel.
Adi, talk to me about Shakur Stevenson going into this fight. Yeah. I mean, excellent dynamic boxer, fabulous defensive skills. We finally get to see the matchup with William Zepeda. What's your thoughts?
Well, looks like Keyshawn Davis, time as the #2 lightweight in the division, was shorter than Liquor. I mean, that was quick. The man couldn't make weight, and then he wanted to. Yeah.
The question was.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the question.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I want to look at the lightweight division as a whole.
And that's why I understand my againstness, because I see.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I gotta get to the lightweight division as a whole.
Hey, tell your story, bro.
Yeah, and turns out that you gotta go to Imagination Land. If you want to see a Lomachenko versus Tank Davis.
That ain't happening. I gave up on it.
Lomachenko retired. It's over with. He had a good career. It's over for him. Yeah. And you have to stay in Imagination Land if you want to see a Gervonta Davis fight any elite boxer in the world right now. Okay, because after his Lamont Roach fight, the rematch, he's supposed to fight
Jake Paul.
I'm still not buying it.
Paul.
I'm hoping that's not true.
Jake Paul.
Now on to Shakur Stevenson with a victory over this undefeated #4 Ring Magazine fighter, the WBC interim champion William Zepeda. Shakur Stevenson will be the new king of the 135-pound division. All right. So he's moving up there. He's the king since Tank want to play around, don't want to fight nobody. Okay.
Yep.
And before this fight, Shakur Stevenson was playing duck, duck, goose, trying to secure a fight versus a highly ranked fighter. Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield, was supposed to be his last fight.
Yeah.
But last minute, just a couple of days before the fight, all of a sudden he's sick. He's too sick to fight. He's on Instagram live, looking like he's in a coma. His dad's filming it and everything. Like, oh man, being dramatic, okay? And this man Shakur has been ducked for the last 2 or 3 years, ever since he's been moved up to lightweight like 2 years ago. And he was Devin Haney's mandatory challenger. And Devin Haney ran up to 140 and fought the great Regis Prograis.
I wouldn't say he ran. I wouldn't say he ran.
The great.
He got undisputed and he moved up. He got undisputed and he moved up.
Regis ain't that bad.
Opinions.
Yeah.
He just hates Devin Haney.
Devin Haney ducked him, man. You know, he hasn't fought an elite fighter that wasn't a heavy underdog since Lomachenko. He's due too to fight somebody, okay?
Yep.
And so now Shakur Stevenson, he's finally got his goose, his golden boy goose, William Zepeda.
Yep.
And after his last summer, after that Artem Haratun Young fight, he had hand surgery. He finally had the hand surgery. All we hear about, I thought he needed a bionic hand or something. And he talked about his hand every fight. So he got it fixed, and his hands look nice, healthy, and violent versus Josh Padley.
Ended with a body shot.
Yeah.
Body shots in the ninth round. 3 knockdowns, all by body shots.
Yeah.
He looked like a new Shakur now, but he's not gonna get no credit for beating Patty because Kid Austin took himself out the fight.
He took the steam out of
Patty, and so people like, oh, you beat an electrician.
And but here's the thing. Shout out to Patty. I'm never gonna throw shade at him. Can you imagine this kid like taking that fight against that opponent, and then to have that fight as semi-competitive as it was until it ended? Like, shout out to him. And you can't blame Shakur for an opponent. With Kid Holyfield or whatever his name was. But
Bitch,
you know,
Oh goodness.
the thing is, y'all go out of y'all way to throw shade at Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson ain't done nothing but try to fight your favorite fighters. And that's why they hate him.
Okay.
And that's why y'all stands and y'all stupid and I call you morons in the comments. Because you really are. You really are.
Harv, you heard both of these guys.
I'm sorry, I always set you up crazy.
You heard both of these guys, but we got a good fight. Hopefully, with William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson.
it's hard to come out of it.
Yeah, I get you. But what's your thoughts on Shakur?
Don't talk about Keyshawn Davis.
So you gave me the leftovers, so I'm just gonna do the best of what I got, right? So, all right, I'll scratch that day.
Leftovers be good though sometimes. Don't get it twisted.
So I think, to tell you the truth, I think honestly that this fight is tailor-made for Shakur's counter-punching style. This guy Zepeda, he's a come-forward type of fighter, so I think that's going to work right into Shakur's ability.
Yeah.
And I think this is just going to be a really easy fight. Well, I shouldn't say easy fight because this guy is very aggressive.
33-0, 27 knockouts.
Yeah, he get hit too.
Yeah.
But after seeing Shakur for so long, I mean, he's pretty much uncanny at controlling the pace of a fight and being able to counterpunch. That's just his forte. So this guy, I feel like he's going to work right into what Shakur needs him to do.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see from Shakur is I'd like to see him to throw more punches. All right? I would like to see him to stop being on the defensive side and start changing over to an offensive-minded style of fight. I'd like to see him to come forward. I'd like to see him work off the jab instead of letting the fight to his
He got a
opponent.
lightning jab.
You know?
He does.
He just, I don't know. I think it's just, he's comfortable. It's his comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him come out of his comfort zone. That's all I would like to see from Shakur.
I agree.
But you guys covered everything else. I would love to bring up his last fight against Josh.
Go ahead.
Josh, Padlock Patty.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, what can I say about that fight?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know who Joshua the Padlock Patty is if it wasn't for this late step in.
An electrician that took like $1 million to go in there and fight a world-class, world champion fighter.
I need some electrical work done.
And man, and that's
we just lost a good electrician.
and the crazy thing is, it's just people throw shade on that fight. I mean, you clearly didn't see the fight. Like he
was a good fight.
He didn't lay down in the fight. He actually brought the fight and it made Shakur look good. Shakur went to the body, and that's when you looking at his hands. You throwing body shots the way he was with the speed, and you just like, please let this manifest to a stiffer competition opponent. Because I really feel like Shakur could do this with anybody at 135.
Yeah.
No, definitely. So we talking about Shakur. Now let's talk about William Zepeda once again. How does he pull off this upset, Harvey? What does he can do? What can he do? I know you just explained how it's going to be hard for him with his style and Shakur's defense and counterpunching. What could he do to offset that and try to maybe pull off this upset?
What I would say is get Shakur off his rhythm. And if you know that Shakur is depending on you to come forward to counter off you, don't give him those opportunities.
Okay.
Work off of using that jab and coming back out. Force Shakur to come forward to give you some counterpunching
But he doesn't count
opportunities. But here's the thing. Shakur's sitting like a sniper waiting. Alright?
Right.
If he already knows what you bring to the table and he's already prepared for what you're gonna bring.
So you're asking William Zepeda to be tentative?
Wow.
Whew.
And don't get me wrong, it may not be the best strategy, but at the end of the day, what do we all know about Shakur? We already know what he's bringing to the table.
Yeah.
I can see this fight going the distance, but I could also see it being competitive for maybe 3 or 4 rounds, and then Shakur will figure out Zepeda, and then the rest of the rounds will be a shutout.
Okay. Byron, William Zepeda. We finally got the fight. Shakur Stevenson got his name, but if Shakur wants to keep his record, and we're saying all these good things about how Shakur is ready for this, what can William Zepeda do to stop us from talking like this?
I saw his last 2 fights.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did. I would much rather see him against Tevin Farmer a 3rd time, because I feel like he got jobbed in that, and it's just this kid gets hit a lot. He get hit a lot.
Yeah.
It's like he uses his face for defense, and he comes in, and the crazy thing is, a lot of you guys run to this comment section. And y'all insult me.
Hey, we love y'all, by the way. We love y'all.
Y'all insult me.
We love y'all.
Y'all insult me by bigging up these opponents just because they have the same ethnicity as you. And you big up these opponents not knowing I watched them with my own eyes. I am not legally blind. I did not use Braille to see who William Zepeda is. I watched him. How the hell can you put this man in the same league as Shakur Stevenson? I do not know. But I'm going to tell you this. The Golden Boy Witness Protection Agency is fucking real. It is real. And why wouldn't you want to be a star? Because aesthetically, 33-0, 27 knockouts, this man looked like Mike Tyson Jr., little adopted Mexican cousin. But he ain't. He gets you with volume. He overwhelms you with volume. He does not throw, he throws arm punches. He doesn't sit on all of them, but it's just a never-ending mass of basically punches and bunches.
Never ending.
But
Exactly.
What happens when you fight a fighter like Shakur, who is not only dependent on, but he is doing cartwheels on the inside, watching you trunch forward, not using your 69.5-inch reach, and just trying to get on the inside with him. It is going to be target practice. He is going to snipe and whoop. And all of you cats that say Shakur Stevenson is boring, I bet you won't be watching this fight. I bet you won't watch this fight. Because this won't be this will not be a boring fight, because William Zepeda is basically going to usher in his own demise. Because all he can do is come forward and throw punches. And he's going to get his ass whooped.
Dang. All right. Give me some hope for William Zepeda. Mine gave me no hope at all. Okay, no hope at all. Like it's just no.
Styles make fights, right?
That's right.
Yeah, Harv didn't really give me nothing either. Give me something.
He didn't. Yeah, you know what?
Box him. I said to box him. I said
he didn't.
Don't give him what he knows.
But he basically told him to do something that he's never done.
Yeah. He does have a reach and height advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But before Zepeda's first fight versus Tevin Farmer, he was looking like a chainsaw. A chainsaw massacre, okay? This guy, after completely overwhelming Maxie Hughes and forcing his trainer to throw in the towel after the 4th round, and then in the 3rd round versus Harv's guy, Giovanni Cabrera, he gave him a liver shot and for the KO in the 3rd round, and so the man was looking great. The man had 31 fights, 27 knockouts. Okay?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who's my guy?
Giovanni Cabrera, isn't that your guy? Remember?
I mean, he's from Chicago, and so I was rooting for him for Chicago.
Oh.
I don't know him.
Yeah.
Oh, no, okay. I thought that was
Yeah, I just didn't want any mixed I'm sorry, please continue.
He lives in Chicago though.
Yeah, he does.
He fought Pitbull Cruz and all that.
Yes.
Now, after Giovanni, my man Zepeda, he fought Tevin 2-time Farmer, okay? And in the 4th round, Zepeda threw a lackluster southpaw jab, and Tevin Farmer countered with a left hook and dropped Zepeda in the 4th round. But that did not slow down Zepeda. Actually, he did the exact opposite. He fought with more urgency like a machine gun. And he slid out of there by the slimmest of margins and won that first fight by split decision victory. He won that fight.
Yeah.
Now, in the rematch, Zepeda had some very great moments in the 2nd and 5th rounds. He landed a barrage of unanswered punches, but he didn't generate enough power to score the knockdown.
And Tevin Farmer, he was compromised in that fight too, in the 2nd round.
Yeah, he had an injury to his left arm or something like that. He was injured, left elbow. So he bounced back, and in the 6th round and beyond, Tevin Farmer bounced back nicely, southpaw jabbing off the back foot with the occasional left hand power shot, sharp combinations, lots of movement, and lots of clinching. Okay, now Tevin Farmer, he dominated the 12th round, and it looked like he knocked Zepeda down in the 12th round with a left hook, but the referee said no knockdown. He called it a slip. He said it was no knockdown. Looked like a knockdown, okay? But now it was, as William Zepeda, he slid out there he edged him out for another very close victory.
Right, one judge had it 114-114.
Yeah,
yes.
One of them had it there. Yep.
Yeah, because one had 116-112, another one had 115-113. The 114-114, Ed Pearson, the judge, I agree with him.
Yeah.
I believe it was a draw. I just feel like Tevin Farmer landed the more impactful punches.
Okay.
But I will say this, William Zepeda, his work rate is absolutely ridiculous.
It's insane.
And that's why I just couldn't say he lost that fight, because he's just, that man is constantly coming forward. He's constantly punching, so I just couldn't say he lost that fight.
So give me something that he can do to Stevenson.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm happy it wasn't me this time.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you what he can do.
Yeah.
Zepeda, one thing I noticed, he's very good at stealing rounds at the end, the last 40, 30 seconds.
Okay.
So
There we
the
go.
first 2 minutes, Shakur might be looking good, but then Zepeda just started. He can go off. He has this motor where he can just go off on you in the last 40, 30 seconds and trick the judge as if he won the round.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Trick the judge.
yeah, because this man, he just keep throwing more and more punches. So he threw like 778 punches in the first fight against Farmer. He threw damn near 1,000 punches in the second fight. So this man can throw 1,000 punches, and so that's his thing. That's his trick. He can just overwhelm the fighter with punches, and maybe the judge like, wow, this guy's active.
Okay, that's something. That's something, right?
Yeah.
That is something.
Yeah.
So, listen, we're talking about William Zepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. We went through the ins and outs of this fight. We came through and break down. So, who's going to win the fight, and how is it going to happen?
Well, there was another man from the 80s from Cincinnati who had no problem throwing over 1,000 punches in a fight. Aaron the Hawk Pryor, okay? So
Back.
Hawk time.
yeah.
Back. Okay.
William Zepeda, just like William Zepeda, overwhelming the opponent with so much intense pressure. But this fight reminds me of the Mexican OG, Julio Cesar Chavez versus the divisive wizard, Sweet Pea Parnell Whitaker.
Yeah,
okay.
I like that.
Put senior on there. Don't let him get confused with Julio Cesar Chavez.
The OG. The
OG.
80s. Yeah, the OG. Yeah. But, you know, he had the blitzing, hard-charging offense versus the smooth like hot butter defense. And I'm going with Shakur Stevenson, the defense, just like Sweet Pea won against Chavez. I'm going with Shakur Stevenson by a decision, 12 rounds.
I like it. Definitely Harv. Who wins this fight? What round? You predicting any knockouts, fireworks? What's gonna happen in this fight?
You know what, man? This reminds me of a fight that I seen not too long ago. It was Devin Haney and Lomachenko. You know, I think what I would like to see, I hope we see an action-packed fight. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we're going to see. And I think Shakur is it's going to be very competitive for the first couple of rounds. And I think once Shakur gets his rhythm down, then I think he's going to shut down Zepeda offensively. And then he's going to cruise to a win. I agree with the Ryan Garcia supporter. I think Shakur is going to win a unanimous decision. But that's not to take away Zepeda has opportunities. You know, he can still be the second half of the round. But it's just what worries me is Shakur's defense. It's impeccable. You know, so yeah. I hope Zepeda can pull something off, a draw at best, but nah. Shakur got it.
Now I know where you're going, but is there any chance they both pick Shakur? Any chance for Zepeda?
It's a lot of layers to this fight. If you recall when Shakur Stevenson first announced that he was going to be a free agent, that he was actually recruited by Oscar De La Hoya.
Right.
And Golden Boy. They wanted to, get a deal going, and basically the golden goose of the deal was William Zepeda. Oscar De La Hoya was going to offer him to Shakur Stevenson. And then after, that kind of fell apart and we saw Shakur Stevenson step out on his own, we saw this very racial bias hatred for everything Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur Stevenson is a young man. And he's not someone that is this bulletproof piece of glass to your insults and the shit that you say that actually affects his bottom line. So this fight is very personal. And the result of it is very meaningful. Because the perception of it can hurt him financially going forward. Shakur Stevenson is not going to fight this fight to outpoint William Zepeda.
Oh, okay.
He's going to punish him. And due to Zepeda's aggression, it will be very fluent and very easy for Shakur Stevenson to do. Even if he is tentative, he's going to knock William Zepeda out in the 10th round.
10th? I love it.
And it ain't going to be close.
I love it.
And so all of you I went to sleep versus Santos guys, wake your ass up and watch what happened to your boy Zepeda.
I love it. So
it's duck season, baby.
Adi picked unanimous decision. Harv picked unanimous decision. 10th round knockout for Byron. Now Byron got a history of picking these knockouts. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He did pick
Terrence Crawford,
the Bud Crawford in the exact round and everything. So
Frank Martin, Tank Davis.
Yeah. So like he definitely has a
Did you
history.
pick around for the Frank Martin?
Yes.
Yeah. So he knows what he's talking about with this. I'm agreeing. I got Shakur. I think one thing that I love about Shakur, the same thing I loved about Floyd Mayweather, his defense and his smarts and his IQ in the ring is off the charts, you know. And I just think I love watching him fight because of his defense. I like the skill. And once again, I said it on the last show. We gotta enjoy all facets of fight. Everybody's not gonna be a knockout artist. Some people are going to be a defensive specialist. Some people are very technical. Shakur falls in that technical defensive fighter mode, and that's to be celebrated too. But I got him winning a unanimous decision. I think he's just gonna outbox, counterpunching, and I don't think William Zepeda, as the fight goes on, is gonna be able to keep up with Shakur Stevenson. So, but we shall see. But we have all picked somebody before, and then we go watch the fight, and then something else happens. So
shit happens.
Ryan Garcia, right?
Yeah.
We all picked him to beat Rolly.
Yeah.
But his hand was hurt. That's why he lost.
Hey, you've been watching Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Monroe, to my partner.
Why
Mr.
don't you tap him in
Adi
there?
Hey, shout out to my partner Adi Wally. Shout out to Byron. Shout out to Har. Appreciate you coming back to the show. In the meantime, go to Spectator Sporting. Subscribe to that page. Like, comment. Keep coming at us on TikTok. If you're in your car, listen on Spotify. But we out. Peace.